Hello, everybody. This is JD. I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I've been listening to the Obama speech several times over, and I've listened to several different commentaries about the Obama speech. And I guess what I'm going to say is, sounded nice, and we do have a bright future if we realize it's the United States and its people that our Congress must take care of. And what's the first thing they talk about? Getting rid of entitlements, Medicare and Medicare and Social Security, the two individual items that they charge us for. They don't say nothing about Medicaid or welfare or anything like that. But you see, Medicare and Social Security, well, that's a different story. That's bankrupting us. We can make it sound bad. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell you people something. I will not be able to touch Social Security because, unfortunately, not only is it an insurance program that you, the American people, had bought into and expects it to be there, and it will be there, because I can't break a promise. Sorry. I don't care what the reason is, I can't break a promise. I can't. The promise will either be kept or I will be dead. That's it. So when it comes to something that you all pay for, just because the government wants to waste money to put a frivolous building somewhere in honor of a senator's name, or to basically put an airfield just to have an airfield, to build things just for the sake of building them. No, I'm sorry. Understand, people. A word given to you will be kept, and that's the way it is. It can't be changed. There's not going to be any easy way to reduce this expense that our government had dumped upon us in the last 2 years. Believe me, it's not going to be easy. But doing stupid things like spending billions of dollars to put an aircraft carrier, for example, in Mayport, Florida, where anyone who ever been in the East Coast aviation community knows that is a waste, major waste of money, and things like that. Now, the command in here in Norfolk that they're closing, that Joint Military Command that they had out at Suffolk, just by its location alone tells you it's really a waste of money. I will not argue that point. We have gone so many years without it, and we've had it set up at different locations. We just don't need to rent a major complex from a civilian firm to pay millions of dollars just to give it a fancy name and move it out in the middle of someplace else just to promote an economy. No. We have to understand, as a people, these tax dollars that our government gets may seem free and abundant, but it isn't. It is actually taking away from the income of many families to put them on the payday to payday type of living. I will agree to the point of Obama's insurance regulations, and that's what it is, insurance regulations and not medical, that insurance companies need, if you're going to go in there and say, I'm going to provide medical insurance for your family, you pay me so much a month and you have medical insurance, need to be told that's what you're going to do. But to call it a medical program is a farce and a vast, greatly injustice to any type of medical program. The truth of the matter is, we do have a medical program almost there. And most people don't even know it. Truthfully, any American, anybody actually, in this country who is injured walks into a medical emergency room. Anybody who is sick walks into a medical emergency room. Anybody who needs walks into a medical emergency room will be taken care of. But the truth of the matter is, you aren't told that. Now, it's only a minor step to go from an emergency room to a clinic set up on the side. But our government won't do that because you might just use it. And that would be an expense then, because you don't use it now because you believe you have no medical. They don't realize there's people who have insurance will have insurance, and those who don't won't have insurance. That's not going to change. All the medical clinics will do is make medical available to those who already have it that don't know it. That's the bottom line. There is many people out there who had medical insurance, lost their jobs, and lost their medical insurance. They don't know what to do. A lot of them are older. They can get jobs, but the jobs they get, if they get any medical insurance, eats up everything they earn between the taxes and the medical insurance. So their take-home pay is near nothing. So what do we do, people? There is a future for the United States. A very strong and good future. We just need to head towards it. You need a leader to show the way. I look at the electric cars. Oh, yes, we can have a whole bunch of electric cars. We got to produce the electricity. We've gone from one fossil fuel, gasoline, to another fossil fuel, basically JP5, I would call it, diesel, which runs the electrical generating plants. Some are hydro, some are wind, some are coal. But the cars won't be putting any pollutants in the air. Instead, they're going to be putting a lot of other pollutants in the ground. Those batteries are not free. They do expire. You may disagree and say no, they won't. If they can build a battery that will not expire, how come the batteries in the car continue to die and need to be replaced every 3 to 5 years. Bottom line is, there is a future. Just because some dirigible called the Hindenburg in Lakehurst, New Jersey went up in flames, we treat hydrogen very similar to the way the Japanese treats nuclear. The problem with hydrogen is twofold. One, when making it, we'll release a lot of oxygen into the atmosphere, which would cause some global cooling. About as much as we did the other way around when we were using carbon fuels. And global warming was just the reverse. Number two, by burning quote unquote hydrogen, we produce water vapor into the atmosphere. So, what effect will that have on our climates? Will it make deserts have water and become grasslands? Or will it cause monsoons to be bigger? Or will it cause rainy seasons to be rainier? Don't know. So, as you can see, even hydrogen. But can we use hydrogen? Well, actually, any place we can use methane gas, we can use hydrogen. As far as its volatility, volatile, if it didn't burn, it wouldn't be used. Of course, at the same time producing hydrogen, we would have plenty of oxygen for the needs of the world. But those who need pure oxygen to breathe when they get older, it would be there. Much cheaper because we're producing it a lot more. Plus, if we used hydrogen for our fuels, it would release the oils for synthetics and development of building materials, which in turn would save and help us from destroying the forests. Of course, then if we stopped this cutting down forests, they would take carbon dioxide and change that into oxygen also. So we'd have more trees and plants creating more oxygen. I guess then we'd end up balancing global warming, which is a normal climate change that happens in the cyclic climate of this planet. So, there is a future. I'm not going to break a promise made to you. We can go in other directions. Clean electricity is a must. And there's several ways we must go after it and use it. At the same time, utilize the assets we have. We just need to open our eyes and look around. The answers are abound all around us. But above all else, as president, the most important thing that will happen, that I will do, is every night I will ask myself, how what I did today will affect the family around the dinner table, at home. What I did today, will it help them, or had I hindered the American family? That will be a question I must answer each and every day. Because you is what this country is all about. Thank you. This is JD.